Hey, it's Jen, Bitch in a Hurry, Not So Mystical Tarot. This is a reading for the Sun, Moon, or Rising sign of Leo for November 7th, 2018. It is for the new moon in Scorpio. And the new moon in Scorpio is a time of transformation. And some are saying, especially for the sign of Leo, a transformation for like forgiveness, family drama, personal drama, maybe you're holding a grudge, but whatever you're doing that's kind of holding you back, and it's time to find a way to put this aside and kind of have a new beginning. That's what they're saying for the Leos. So the one thing I want to say about this new beginning as well is this is a time where we set intentions at the new moon. And Scorpio is deep, like very deep emotional, very, very deep emotional feelings and emotional ways of being. It's a very intense time. And Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. And Mars is the god of war. So, it's very strong, kind of earthly energy. And then you have Pluto, which is like the intelligent, omniscient kind of woo-woo energy. So we kind of hope that they temper each other out so that you do have these outcomes that you want, but not taken by force, more a combination of action and intelligence. So that's what we're looking to do in this month. But again, definitely seeing with Leo some kind of, maybe you're holding a grudge, or there's something or a situation that needs to be forgiven for you to form this new beginning. So it's especially crucial for Leo to identify that particular thing. And when we come to this new beginning, you want to make sure that you set your intentions in a in a very, very clear way, because the universe doesn't really do inference. So you want to be clear as you set these expectations. Not, I hope, let's just say it's your family. I hope I can get along with my mom better. Instead, you want to say something like, I'm going to repair the relationship with my mother or my sister or whoever, whatever the case may be, my colleague, my coworker, or someone important in my life. But you want to be very, very specific. And the other thing about this particular time with this new moon in Scorpio is these intentions you may want to keep to yourself, because not everyone will be on the same page as you. And what you want is support, not detriment. So if someone is not going to be supportive of you, there's no point in sharing your dreams and goals with them and your new intentions. And I say the same thing for social media. This is not something that you want to put on your social media. This is not something to share with the whole world. It's kind of personal and private. So we want to look at definitely keeping the intentions clear in our own minds, but perhaps keeping them kind of to ourselves. I think we may need to let this deck rest for well, maybe I was wrong. Okay. We got the one here that flipped too. If we don't get any more in the next couple shuffles, we will let the deck rest and we'll start this reading for you guys. We are looking at Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising for the new moon on November 7th, 2018. If this doesn't resonate with you, check your Moon or Rising signs, because that may be a better option depending on just this particular time. All right, we're just gonna put these down right now. There's an awful lot of energy. I have not hit a reading where the cards have come out that fast yet. So we must have a lot to talk about. We're going to start out here with the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords shows someone looking back into their past, looking over their shoulder, and you can feel, looking at this card, the angst and the stress associated with this. And I believe for Leo especially, we talk about putting a grudge aside, something that's going on, something that's taking up a lot of space in your head. And this person is looking behind them. Obviously, you can't move forward when you're looking behind you all the time. So it is time to try to put that aside. Try to put this aside, identify what it is, and then put it aside. And the next card we have here is the Seven of Swords, which is oftentimes, they say the thief, but it could be secrets. It can be all different things that you're not sharing with the world. And I think this is just for us a reminder that whatever it is that you need to work on, put aside as far as something that's not going right with another person, or a grudge that you have, whatever that is, does not need to be on social media. This is private. It needs to be handled in private. This is a card of secrets, and not that you need to be, what is the word I'm looking for? Not that you need to be dishonest as far as a secret like that, but more that maybe this is just something that needs to be kept to yourself. And the next card we have here is Temperance. And because this is a highly emotionally charged time, and because whatever you're dealing with is highly emotional to you personally, we want to make sure to have that temperance, that ultimate balance, the ultimate yin and yang between the intensity and the emotion that you feel and the way that you know you need to handle things so that things can move forward and progress. Because if you handle this situation with so much emotion and maybe anger or angst or upset, it's going to translate into the way that the negotiation or the way that the situation turns out. So we want to make sure that we have as much temperance as we possibly can. You want to make sure that you look at everything from both people's sides, because temperance is like the yin and the yang, right? There are two sides to everything, and of course the side that's our side we see as the most important side, and the side that is right all the time. But try to look at it from the other person's point of view, and you may see that yin and the yang, where okay, maybe I was a little bit this way, but maybe they were that way. But whatever, either way, you can see both people have a reason for acting the way that they did. So try to take a step back and look at it objectively. And that's another thing we have with these two first cards that are swords. This is your intellectual mind. So try to look at the situation objectively and with balance. Like if you were a judge in a courtroom, try to look at it like that as you approach the situation. And here, this is very interesting that we have this Emperor card, because the Emperor is like the king of the kingdom. He has got himself together. He's in complete control. There is no one more together than the Emperor. He is the king of the world. It may be a good idea, if at all possible, that you enlist the help of someone who is objective in this situation. If it's a situation, especially like, let's say you have a family member pass away and then you have people fighting over things, this may be a good thing to enlist, like perhaps a mediator, someone that can help you through this process, because there's a good chance that if this process is as emotionally charged as it seems to be, that it could be very difficult for two groups of people that are that emotionally charged to navigate an outcome that's going to work for everybody without a mediator. So I would say this card says to me that it may be something to look into, and maybe just looking into the mediator would be something that would help everybody find this level of balance. Like, okay, do we really need to take it this far? Can we dial ourselves back and deal with this situation? Can we dial ourselves back? Although this is reinforced here, so maybe you don't need to hire a lawyer as far as like a mediator. Maybe you don't need a lawyer. But here we see the Hierophant, which is, speaks to institutions, priest, things like that. Maybe if you are religious, you have a priest that you can go and talk to. Maybe your pastor, minister, someone that you both look up to that isn't maybe a lawyer, because I'm seeing here like mediator, lawyer. So if that is not the route that you really want to go, perhaps there's someone that you all look up to that you feel could help you mediate through the situation, and also can do it in a confidential way, because this is not something that needs to be taken care of publicly. And of course, if you have a lawyer, as far as a mediator by the court or a judge, or a pastor or someone in that capacity, they are bound by confidentiality and privilege to the people that they've spoken to. So I know this is really heavy and it's a lot of stuff, but whatever this is, maybe it's something that happened to you, and there's no way to rectify this. Like, I don't even want to say this, but maybe there was some sort of like personal abuse that took place, and the person that did the abusing is no longer alive. So obviously there's no way to sit down with this person and explain to them what they did to you. But talking to someone who is a pastor, a priest, a counselor, a therapist, this may be a way for you to work through this so that you can move on. That's what I'm seeing, is that if you can't seem to move on through this on your own, and like I said, this is highly intense here. This is something that is like looming. If this is something that you can't work through on your own, enlisting the help of a professional is not a bad idea, and there is always confidentiality associated with that. That being said, when you do that, you will realize that you are ready now to begin something new. Like, you are ready to begin a new life. And that's the thing. Scorpio is the king of transformation. So it's now time. You have the magician, and the magician has every single element, every single thing in perfect balance and at his disposal to create the life that he wants. So you're going to be able to stop looking over your shoulder or constantly, this is the same thing, is like just mulling it over in your head over and over and over and over, this thing that's looming over you. You're going to be able to release that with the help of a mediator, or possibly pastor, priest, counselor, therapist, someone, even a school counselor, someone that you can talk to that's not going to tell everybody in the whole world, because this could be quite personal. So the thing is, you have this ability here to do something completely and entirely different and to change who you are. You're no longer this person that this stuff happened to, or this person that's in a fight with these people. You're now this person who's living their life. And so it's really time to move. I see that it is time to move on. And one thing I want to tell you is we have the Six of Pentacles, which is very exciting, because you see that he's doing all this work up here and he's not really paying attention. But while he's not paying attention, something is growing. So just know that as you start this process, it may seem like nothing is happening. And you may not feel better right away. And you may not find closure or the outcome that you want immediately. But something is happening. Little by little, this will happen. And one day you will be like, oh gosh, I'm over it. But just know, just keep steadily, consistently working at solving this issue and removing this issue from your life, because you have something new right here that is on the horizon. It's right around the corner. Now, there is one thing that I do want to mention here. We have the Eight of Swords. And this card is reminding us that it is completely essential that we let go of whatever holds we have in our mind of this sort of a thing, because the hold in your mind is going to hold you back from progressing, from moving forward. And that's what we want to do here, is move forward. This swan can leave. This swan can take flight and go up and leave. There's birds up here. There's sunshine, moonshine, something up here. But right now, this swan is just kind of mucked all up in this mess and in these swords, and he can't get out. But he can get out. He's in a prison of his own making. And the only way that this new moon in Scorpio, the only way that you will not be able to fully transform is if you choose not to. If you choose to let yourself stay stuck in this muck and this mire down here, flailing around and getting stuck in these swords and not making any progress, that is the only reason that you will not have any kind of victory. But the card that we have next is great. So we see here, we have another six, the Six of Rods. And we right here see that he's got the laurel wreath. And oftentimes when people came back from battle, soldiers and military, they would put this laurel wreath on them or on their horse as a symbol of their victory and the fact that they were stronger than their opponent and all of that stuff. So it may need to be that you need to be stronger than yourself. You may need to be stronger than this Eight of Swords, than this prison that you've made for yourself of this is who I am over here. That you're this oppressed, upset person with this grudge and this angriness and these things that are happening to you. You have victory here. This is coming. It's so encouraging to me to see that, because you have, with the six right here, you have victory and something starting to grow, and then here you have assured victory. Just be careful with this, that you don't get like haughty and like thinking that nothing can ever happen again, or something along those lines. It's easy when you have a large victory like that to have a setback. So have your victory, be grateful and feel gratitude for it. And the last card that we have is a Six of Cups, one more six. So this is really a big deal. Six of Cups says something from childhood. So I have a feeling that whatever this is can be something that either happened a very, very, very long time ago, or is something that you have brought with you from childhood that you're still not over. And it is time to absolutely let this go. You have right here the Queen of Swords. Your objective, analytical mind is smart enough and sharp enough to cut through the emotional nonsense and see this problem for what it is, be objective about it, and move forward. And we're going to leave it right there. Thank you so much for watching.